So this is what we are so far. It's almost 12 o'clock now, 10 minutes to 12. And that's the third file. And I was thinking that it might be too short. If you think about it, it has have road from the putting beam that we have done yesterday. Although some people did correct me. It's called footing. I call it beam putting because the locally, if you say beam, it's a support that connects. That's how they understand it here. That connects 2 or 3 columns, or that's the connecting support. So it's the footing beam, and then the road will be here. So it will be too short for the barrier. So having 4 would means that it'll be higher than the side of the budget bungalow. So from the third file, you can see there's a rebar that goes across. That's the vertical that Janelle put in. So it goes inside the columns, and that's the 4th level now. So I think that will be enough, but I'll have to consult Old B because you can, this is Old B's projects. So he will be participating when the bungalows are there, because right now it's just the road. He can see it well on the video, so he can just give me instruction of what he wants his project to be doing, so he can see this, if this is enough height for the wall. Unsa tay? I'm going back down to check on my Eco Park building, and we are still on the wall. I was saying a wall, but actually it's just a small wall for my fence. I just recently have a nasty comment from someone, that another one that know it all, but unfortunately you might think you know it all, but it's on the video of secrets of a strong concrete, and she's calling me I'm foolish to build a wall because this should be a retaining wall. Come on, when you watch the video, use your common sense. Common sense will tell you I'm not building a retaining wall. What is there to retain? And if you look at both sides, that little mound that you're looking at will soon be flattened out because the old man wants it flat. So what is there to retain? I know you want to know, you want to think you know it all, but please have some common sense, because it's something that people will be looking intelligent. Common sense is something that everyone should have. What is there to retain again? Look, it's only a small mound that soon be flattened out by the owner of that small mound. So what am I retaining? And this one, I'll be taking that off to fill on the side to level the earth. So I am building a wall, just a small wall, so I could put interlinked chain fence on the top. This is not a retaining wall. Common sense, man. Come on. What am I retaining here? This soon be flattened out, level on the road. If you want to see how a retaining wall is built with forms, look at my video Dare to Dream. That's when I built my castle all in retaining walls, where I import all the rebars. But this one is only a fence, F-E-N-C-E. This one will soon be leveled down to the ground level when I've used that as filling. So there's nothing to retain. Come on. And you say I have no shame? You should be ashamed of yourself. You got no common sense. Come on. And like I said, I value comments like people like Alan Sheasley, John Harris, which their suggestions make sense. There's another one even suggested that I put a conduit on the, I think I'll put it here on this side. So I'll just check the comments. That's the thing here. You got no signal on this side. But you know, in the where I'm gonna build the bungalow, you got all the sites there. So this is what we are so far. Old Lito and Deloy just go and pick up some more sand because the sand diggers just called us up to pick up the sand that they have piled so far. But this is only a wall. That little mound there will soon be flattened out by the owner, and so is on the other side. I'll be the one flattening this out to feel anything I want to feel. So this wall is not a retaining wall, it's a fence. And if you use your common sense, look at the side here. What is there to retain? Tell me. That one's going to be flattened out. Like I said, I'm going to be using that as filling. So it will be just on the lower side. So there is nothing to retain. So don't give me your, you know everything. And I'm be shameful because I'm not rebuilding a retaining wall. Please, common sense. Common sense. So, but I'm grateful for some of the logical comments that I just received that I'm trying to save their comments so I could use it for my future build. So this is what we are. It's still gray clouds, but at least it's not raining. But here, look at the side of this. It's all muddy, so that's why after I put all the walls, then I could put the graveling, the short walls for fencing, because I think you understand, some of the viewers, because building is really stressful, but at least it's not so stressful as it is before when I was building the budget bungalow. This is only a wall to fence to deter, you know, the old couple from using the road as theirs as well. So we are not filling any sides. In fact, that side here will soon be flattened out by the old man. Because he noticed that when I flattened this one here, the road lot, he said is getting a bit wider. So his side, he will soon ask his grandson to flatten it out to make it wider. So what is there to retain? And this side, I'll just flatten it out myself, just to get it on the side. But there is nothing to retain. These are just fillings that I could use in the future. Then it's only a fence. So this is my fence. This got a short wall. That's retaining nothing because this mound, a little mound of earth that you see here on the side, will soon be taken out by the old man, because as he said, when I flatten this out here, the place seems wider. So it's only like a short, his grandson can dig it out himself by hand slowly. Look, it's not, it's a little mound higher here, and it just go down there on the side. So it's nothing. We will even take out some of the topsoil of it to fill up on the side when we go straight. We go straight there for the fence. And this side, I'll be using some of this for any filling, so it will be down to the ground. So the fence is going okay. Junelle is now making the plywood to pour the short columns in between the short wall, because this is now the height of our wall for the fence wall. So the title of this video will be the fence making, road fence making. And unlike that know-it-all comment that says that I will be ashamed of myself for not making a retaining wall, Mr. Know-it-all, this is not a retaining wall. And why are you critical of the Philippines and you're here? I don't understand. But this is just a fence. So it's gonna go down straight, down to the property line. And nothing will be retained because it's just open fields. Only this short, small mound of earth in here that soon will be flat out. And there's here on the other side. But I will be taking some of it for filling. So it will be flat, almost flat, the same as here. So this is like day 3 of the Eco Park, and we are now doing the fencing. And as for whip walls, because we will be, this is a bit higher here, so it will follow the contours of the road lot. So most of the water on this area will go down following the contours of the road lot. So we dug down and then we level it up higher, and then on the sloping part, that's when I will build my own drain towards, that will serve also as a drain of all the bungalows that I will be building in the future. So but in this part it will go down on the main road because there's drainage there provided by the government on the side. Another thing I'd like to mention about the spacers, that someone is so concerned that why didn't I invest on spacers? You cannot buy spacers here. They're not available in any hardware. But you will see what I will do when I do the house for the floorings and stuff. I will be making my own spacers. I'll let them make it so it will be all even. But for this fence, we know that it's gonna be 2-inch deepness all around. So rocks can do for the moment, but you can see it's not even 2-inch. At least that's the minimum 2-inch. Some of them are that 3-inch. But the idea was to put the rebars in the middle of the pour. So the spacers are not available here in the Philippines yet. I will be making my own spacers when I do the flooring for the bungalow, so it's all even. Because as of the moment I only had 3 people working for me. Then they cannot just do spacers for one day, so it has to be, they're all used up. I mean, I utilize all their time for digging, for making muck, for getting gravel and sand, for making cement. So the spacers for this one, we don't have the time to do it yet, to make it out of the PVC pipe, shape it by 2-inch by 2-inch. But I'll see what I can do in the weekend, because I have some extra 2-inch pipes. Then I could just mix the muck and then dry it up. Then that will be our standard spacer. But yesterday we didn't think of making the spacers because we are utilizing our time to more important things, because I only had 3 workers. I don't want many more workers because I want the project to be enjoyable. The build will be enjoyable, not being so stressed out like I did with the budget bungalow. Sakto na yun, mag-ihap na sa tag sa sunod. Kabaw na kaasa dapita. Told him to stop at least there's an indication where's the next column. Then we'll count the other side and just dig up a shallow column again. Dito sandong. Dire. Mo ba? Ang kadto man ang
Gamot.
katong lubi. She still have the coconut still there underneath. Coconut leaves. Because I told him to just dig a shallow hole for the moment, then we can continue on 2 more columns down. But he wants to dig that leaves first. And also ordering again in Lazada the rebar tire work tool, so it's easier for them to tie the tire wire. Now they're gonna pour the columns that's been shaped up by Junel, so it'll be dry on Monday. Then they can render back and front, especially the back, because the front can be done all at once. Now the Loy is trying to mix the muck of 1, 2, 3, 1 cement, 2 sands, and 3 gravel. And Junel just come back bringing the vibrator, because we're gonna pour the 2 columns that he has formed on the wall, fence wall. So that's the mop, and we'll be using the vibrator for that one. So yesterday we have also a comment that, oh, you should have used less water so it will be more stronger instead of the vibrator. If you use less water in a mixer, it will not come out, and the water will also, when you vibrate, it just get out of the, it will get sipped through by on the earth. So it's not a problem. It's got more water. It's more easier for the muck to come out from the mixer. So as usual, we are vibrating the column pour for each segment of the fence. So this is now the height that we're working on, and the rest will be an interlinked wire. Now, because sometimes I pause because I have to tell them what to say, how to do it. Isud sa ilam ting. Oo. There. Ikuan sa kuno, i-vibrate sa. Bikas na sad. Bikas huwad. Said pour on the other side. So the whole thing here today we've used like 20, 48, 28, 28, 56 plus 20, 76 blocks and 4 bags. Upat ka sako sininto no? Anto sininto ba? Upat ka buk. Pila ka buk tanan? Unom. Okay. So we use 6 bags of cement including the column because this is the 6th bag that we use for the column now. So 76 blocks because I will not be giving you like I did with the budget bungalow because I will give you the price for the whole like fence this job for the whole thing to the end. But so far we've used, that's what we use for today, 76 blocks 6-inch and 6 bags of cement, and the mix was 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So 1 cement, 2 sands, 3 gravels. So we're now pouring the last column and we will put the vibrator on it now. So you will be seeing this vibrator all the time when I do jobs around this eco park that I my latest project. So if you vibrate it, all the water will seep through and it's just the muck mix will be on top and the cement. And so the reason why it was so watery yesterday, because it makes to make it easier to come out from the mixer. But since we're using vibrator, it just seeps through the earth. Now it's not so wet. Now you can see there what Old Lito is mixing, and using the vibrator, look at all the water just come off, leaving the actual sediments to be and the cement left on the actual column hole. Vibrate na sa thing. See how the muck sinks down.